Liberal destiny gets absolutely demolished by Andrew Wilson on the topic of January 6th on the Fresh and Fit podcast. They have a little debate. We're reacting to it today. By the way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I haven't posted in the past couple days because, as you can see, I'm in a new set because my husband and I, our family, we have moved houses, so moving while trying to record is kind of difficult. So the past 3 days I have not posted, but we're back on schedule, posting at least once a day, maybe back to 2 times a day. I don't know. Stay tuned, subscribe, like this video, everything. By the way, shout out Andrew Wilson and his amazing wife, Rachel Wilson. Love them. Some of my favorite people on the internet, including Myron. Myron is another one of my favorite people on the internet. Let's get right into it.
So, Destiny, would you agree with me that the motivation for demonizing the opposition political party often revolves around calling them traitors, accusing them of treason, and pushing for, some type of villainization that they are against the country, they are against you, they are against everybody?
For another debate, maybe, but that's not at all any of the subject matter here.
Well, I think it is. I think it ties in because I believe that the motivation for why you're claiming that the other side are a bunch of insurrectionists, though you have no direct evidence of this, and your own criteria is just that of basically a riot, that your motivation is just to demonize the opposition.
Sure, but this isn't a debate over my motivation. I could be motivated by 100 million different bad faith factors, and literally none of them would be relevant to this conversation. It could be the fact that the DNC actually paid me money to give this precise argument, and Kamala is on the phone with me right now, and it wouldn't have any impact on this particular debate.
I think it would be. I think that the motivation for why you're making the argument itself would have an impact on the debate. But I am willing to concede that if you just want to keep it to the material, we can. Let's move over to point two then. Point two, you say resisting any law or interference with the course of a government proceeding wouldn't fit rioting itself. How does that not fit rioting itself? Of course it does.
Well, let's say, for instance, the purpose of a riot was because you felt like the law wasn't being enforced. It wouldn't make sense to call that part of an insurrection. Let's say, for instance, that let's say that there was a lynching of a person and you felt like the cops weren't, upholding their duty or whatever. And so you decided to have a protest that turns into a riot, and you all show up with the goal of protesting and rioting because you felt like the law wasn't being carried out here. You wouldn't really call that an insurrection because they're not trying to contravene a legal process. Just because, again, you engage in unlawful conduct doesn't mean that you're trying to resist, like the implementation of the carrying out, resisting the laws.
That would be the same case with insurrection then.
Insurrection
would also require intent, right?
Yes. Yeah, correct. Yes. So the intent would be the contravening of the Electoral Count Act. When people say we need to march and make our voices heard on January 6th to the Capitol grounds where people are going to protest, they're protesting the execution of the Electoral Count Act, which demanded that Vice President Pence count the electoral votes. Donald Trump didn't want that. He made it very clear in the days preceding. Him, Bannon, Eastman, Chesbrough, and everybody else that was working alongside him, Sidney Powell, everybody else, was saying that we need to prevent Pence from counting the electoral vote. That was the execution of a lawful government function.
Yeah, but even if
an act, and that's what people are going there to protest
if all that's true, Destiny, it still wouldn't matter because the events of January 6th themselves, the intent of the people could have just been to riot, not indeed to commit to any sort of treasonous insurrection activity. And you have failed to demonstrate this time and time again, how this actually would meet the criteria of an insurrection. Them showing up, and just like your take in 2021, right? When you say, hey, look, the damage would have been way worse if they had shown up with the purposes of actual insurrection or some type of 1776 mindset. This is the most armed nation on planet Earth. How in the world can you say these people showed up specifically in order to do that? That makes no sense, man.
Andrew Wilson is precisely correct here. There is no way that liberals like Destiny and anyone else can prove that those who participated in January 6th were there for an insurrection. Where's the proof, bitches? Oh, wait, you can't have it because that's not what happened. And, these people need to prove it. But you know what? When you're a Democrat and you're promoting the globalists and the left's narrative, you actually don't need facts on your side. Isn't that amazing? It's called liberal privilege, bitch. Okay, let's get back to it.
None of this law, none of that argumentation was stuck with her. People they obviously showed up to protest the certification of the vote. They were called there by Donald Trump.
If it's a non sequitur, then you in 2021 were using a non sequitur when you made the argument that from the appearance of this, it could not have been an insurrection.
2021 Destiny was incorrect because 2021 Destiny didn't have the historical context to understand an insurrection. If you want to
Is there a Destiny that's ever correct? Asking for a friend, because I have yet to see one. I think I may have seen him win a debate once, but it was so not memorable that I don't remember it. But I think it's on my channel, so subscribe and go find it. And if you do find it, link it in the comments below.
Bring him on here and talk to him. You can.
I am
don't
talking
agree with
to him.
everything that
You're
I said.
not
You're
you.
not. I am 2024 Destiny. I have learned more things. I have done more studying. I've read more papers, and I've done more research on this. There is actually a strong understanding of what an insurrection is, and there was a strong historical understanding of what an insurrection is. And the idea that a bunch of people were called on January 6th, the date wasn't a mistake. When Donald Trump sent them down there to protest, when he said we need Mike Pence to do the right thing, what was he talking about? He wanted him to contravene the law, and that's what people marched down there for them to do.
Donald Trump.
Ugh, if only Mike Pence had big enough balls to do that, huh? Nope, the fly was right. The fly was right. If you know, you know. Comment if you know what I'm talking about.
Minutes before this began, that this needed to remain a peaceful protest on
No, he didn't.
Twitter.
He never said that.
He did. I actually have the
No, he
tweet.
didn't.
I have the
On
tweet.
he said
He did say that.
In the speech, he said to fight like hell.
Does fight like hell mean go perform an insurrection? No, it doesn't.
I'm talking about his tweets. Why would a person put out a tweet to be peaceful if their intent was insurrection, Destiny?
Why would a person call a protest on January 6th? What do you think they were protesting?
What do you mean? They call protest. People call protests all the time. That doesn't mean that the
We're not talking about other protests. I'm asking you, what was the purpose of the protest on January 6th?
The purpose of the protest was to go out and show support for Donald J. Trump.
For what?
Well, there was a variety of reasons. I think.
No, wait. Are you telling me we can't?
I'm going to give you a variety of reasons. You can't say no. Are you saying there wasn't a variety of reasons why people didn't show up?
Nope. I think there was one clear reason.
Oh, there's only one reason why everybody showed up.
10 seconds.
Correct.
10 seconds.
Really, bitch? Really?
Oh, okay. What is the one clear reason? There was not a variety of reasons. Some people didn't show up just because they wanted to see what was happening. Some people didn't show up just to support the president. Some people didn't show up because they really like to go to protest. Everybody showed up for one reason, right?
I didn't say everybody showed up for one reason. I said they were called there for one reason. That was to protest the certification of the election.
Guys, that is time. I'm happy to let this play out longer if you guys want, and add an extra minute to the clock. Are you guys okay with that?
Yeah, we can add an extra minute.
I'll add an extra minute to the clock. And
add it, bitch, add it.
well, this is still round one of the open discourse, but just try to limit it to 1 minute, and then we'll go into round two of it, and we can go from there. And if we need more rounds,
that isn't why everybody showed up. Sense. Clear reason why everybody showed up. That's clearly not true. That doesn't even logically make sense. He could never demonstrate in a million years that there was only one clear reason why everybody showed up. That's a nonsensical argument, Destiny.
That's not the argument that I'm making. If the debate is whether or not January 6th is an insurrection, not did every single person on January 6th engage in the crime of insurrection, or did every single person on January 6th go with the intent to commit an insurrection. Why did you say there was one clear reason? I said that there was a clear reason why people were called there, because there was. Donald Trump called people there to protest not on January 5th and not on January 7th and not in a random part of DC and not in a random part of the country.
Oh my gosh, I have to shut him up. And usually I think it's wrong if a woman has a guy shut up, but in this case, I think I'm correct here. I think I'm in the right case scenario here. Destiny. It must be so hard to argue from a liberal's point of view. The facts are clear. Donald Trump never asked people to engage in an insurrection. He said fight like hell to save the country. God forbid, but the liberals will hear what they want to hear. No matter what we do, that's correct. The liberals will always write their own narrative. So screw what these certain class of people think. Anyways, hope you enjoyed today's video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Adios.